The problem is to enhance glutathione is next to impossible. You can because both glutathione and its rate limiting amino acid, which is L-cysteine, are both very, very fragile. The stomach destroys them. You can get glutathione IV, but that's only partially effective because the IV solution increases the bulk of the particles, so it will impact some cells on your body, but not all cells. Also, it's much slower. Also, it's much more expensive and inconvenient. IV glutathione has a half-life of 4 hours, which means to be stable, you would need to have IVs every single day. Well, at $200 to $250 a day, not a lot of people want to do that. Plus, it's inconvenient, it's uncomfortable, and it takes hours. So, how wonderful would it be if we could somehow raise or enhance glutathione levels and utilization in the cell in a way that was effective? Nobody's ever really been able to do that. They do it, like I say, with precursors, and Dr. Jerry tried those. Well, what we did, I met with some nanoscientists years ago, and after I left my previous company in 2017, I started meetings up, and I said, guys, could we ever get glutathione and its rate-limiting amino acid, L-cysteine, could we ever nanosize them so small that it would instantly absorb through your mucous membranes in your cheeks and sublingually in the venous cavity? Could we do that? They said, absolutely. You only have to be 100 nanometers or smaller to do that. Well, to put it in perspective, this piece of typing paper is 100,000 nanometers thick. Every strand of hair on your head is 80,000 nanometers thick. We're going to get it under 100 nanometers so it absorbs. Hey, guys, if we could get it under 20 nanometers, we could cross the blood-brain barrier. If we could get it under 10, we could absorb through the epidermis, the 23 layers of dead skin, to get into where all the skin health comes from, the dermal layer. Is there any way we can get it 10 or less? And these guys said, well, let's try it and see what we do. They had a completely different way of nanosizing. Nanosizing is real simple, not easy, but simple, not complex. Particles clump together in solution. You have to separate them. Then you have 20 millionths of a second to encapsulate those so they don't come back together. The rest of the world uses primarily fats. They encapsulate those in lipids, which are fats. And so that liposomal encapsulation keeps them from coming back together. Problem is it increases the size of the particle, and most cells don't like storing fat. Why? Because fat collects toxic material in the cell and just stays there and leaches it back into the cell potentially. So a lot of scientists are pro-liposomal. A lot of scientists are against liposomal. We found a way, and it's proprietary, and we own the rights to it, to wrap the particles, reorganize water molecules to wrap them with water. What happens? Cells say, ooh, I like water, come on in. Okay, and the water molecules serve as a Trojan horse to deliver our active ingredients into the cell. Size-wise, yes, we're small enough. The average cell in the human body is 100 nanometers in size, and the porosity in those cells, the little pores that you need to get through, are on average 10 nanometers. So we do just fine. So we went ahead, we created the technology, we used it with athletes. It had miraculous results. Athletes were breaking world records, personal records. They couldn't believe the recovery times were radically less. They'd work out and be recovered in 15 minutes instead of overnight. If they had a hard workout, instead of taking 2 days to recover, they'd be recovered in 8 hours. So that's kind of the breakthrough. It's because we have radically increased the bioavailability to levels nobody ever imagined, and cellular utilization. Whenever you read an ingredient on anything, you got to think, okay, what's the bioavailability? Is it going to be accepted by the cell? And will the cell accept a form of it that it can utilize? And the answer is, with us, yes.
All of us stand in amazement. Folks, we've been with companies that grew fast, but nothing like this. I thought the days of this kind of growth in network marketing were done because of the online giants. With Me Too products, you can't get much traction. That's why it's great. Steve mentioned it. They have their own reactor. It's all in-house, and it's a trade secret, which is brilliant. Better to do that, and that just shows how savvy Steve Scott is. Better to do that than to patent it, because if you patent something, you have to reveal your formulation and how you do it, and people can access that. So it's very, very smart what he's doing, and we're a part of this. This is taking on a life of its own, like none of us have ever experienced, because it's everything lined up that we've ever looked for in a company. All right here, right now, at a time that everyone on this planet needs it more than ever. Everyone is out there wondering what to do to keep themselves stronger for whatever come what may. Glutathione doesn't get any better than that. We were on with a holistic health practitioner on a three-way this morning, and she was asking all the same questions I had. Glutathione, how are you getting it in the body? She was saying how amazing it is. Wow, you must be experiencing all of these amazing benefits, because she knew right down the list what this meant. But how can you get it in the body? She knew that no one was effectively doing it. Even the IV glutathione isn't that effective. But what we have in the blood instantly and in the cells in 70 seconds, because of this proprietary technology. Let that sink in. Once this word really gets out, you can see it on these Zooms. It's getting out. People are being attracted to this like crazy. But once it really gets out in a few months, we're at the beginning. We're on the threshold of great things. And like Steve said, you'll have friends all around the world because of what's happening right now. So don't hesitate. Get back to the person that told you about this. Don't waste any time. This is happening with or without you. And it's better with you. We're having fun, we're helping people, and we're loving life.